What's good, guys? It's your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another movie review. We have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Let's get into this. So, straight off, Sam Raimi directed this movie. Sam Raimi is a great director. He's one of those directors where he really leaves his print on movies. You can kind of tell what a Sam Raimi movie is just by cinematography straight off the bat. And certain things he does in certain scenes and stuff like that. So he was great. He did bring a lot more horror to the MCU, which we haven't had before. So we haven't had it at all so far. And I will say, if you have young kids, and when I say young kids, I'm on about like most MCU movies. In fact, all of them. You could take any age kid to watch that movie because there's rarely any swearing in it. There's no sex scenes or anything like that. This one, yeah, you might have to have a word still, because there's some things in this where even adults, it's quite gory. A few horror sequences in there. Doesn't take you out of the story at all. It doesn't stop you feeling like you're watching an MCU movie, but at the same time, you do feel like you're watching a Sam Raimi movie, which is a bit mad me saying that. Basically, what I'm saying is there's negatives and positives to Sam Raimi directing this particular movie, depending on how you view. If you want your regular, happy-go-lucky Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, you do get that in this movie. But the switches between that and the horror stuff is quite drastic, and it happens quite frequently in the movie. But I thought he was great. It's good to see him back directing movies again. For how I personally love these movies, I probably would have wanted him to go full Sam Raimi, to be honest. I feel like there were certain parts in the movie where it was like you're just trying to throw the Sam Raimi type of action in there instead of doing this. So either go all the way or don't go any other way. But it was a fun time. Camera work in this was brilliant. I think the camera work is probably what the Doctor Strange movies are most famous for, even though we've only had one Doctor Strange movie so far, but that one probably is visually the most like crazy, and you can tell the details and stuff in it. And we are travelling through multiverses, so we do get that. I loved it. I didn't see any CGI what I thought was a bit off. I mean, I think that he had like a third eye that looked a bit funny, but there's is it Gargantor, the big eye? I think that was great. They had him having expressions and stuff just through one eye, like his eye would like crease up when he was getting angry, and when he was getting scared, his eyes would dilate. It was kind of cool. It was just one big eye, so you saw that in the trailer. Everything I'm speaking about, you saw in the trailer already. Speaking of that, obviously, let's just get straight into it. The cameos is what a lot of people wanted to see this movie for, especially casual Marvel fans, or casual cinema goers, because I feel in fact, no, I feel like all the fans probably wanted the cameos. Now, I got contrasting thoughts on this because I went to watch it with my son and my missus, liked the movie, but because she was expecting so many cameos, she wasn't that impressed that certain cameos wasn't in there. And for me and my son, he looked like he was looking forward to some more as well. I kind of went in there with the expectation of, I don't know, that I thought I would have saw a little bit more, but I wasn't that fussed. Now, we do know that 40 minutes of this movie had been cut off, and watching this movie, I feel like I can tell that 40 minutes had been cut off because the pacing was a bit iffy sometimes. It didn't feel like there was a massive gap in the movie what had been removed, but it felt like there was 5 minutes from here and 2 minutes from that scene and 10 minutes from that. Do you know what I mean? So basically, the pacing of it felt like there was a part in the movie which usually you only get once you've already watched the movie and you know what's coming next. But there's a part in the movie when something happened and I was like, yeah, this movie's gonna finish soon. They're coming to the climax of the movie, but I wanted more. But in terms of the cameos, yeah, I've seen some reviews so far, and everyone seems quite disappointed, if I'm honest. And some are quite happy with certain cameos. For me, I didn't go. The expectation I had for the cameos what are in the movie, pretty much the ones what you can see in the trailer, that wasn't that high, and the movie didn't deliver them amazing either. They were kind of just there, and they kind of didn't feel like there were scenes with them for long enough. But there was some fun parts in it. Yeah, there's some fun parts in it. There's 2 post-credit scenes in this movie. one of them's just a happy-go-lucky. You know, if you miss it, it will never matter to you. And then one of them's quite important. But I'm guessing if you're not a comic book reader, you won't even know anything about it. You'll be very confused. I kind of picked up on it kind of straight away. And then when I got home, I double checked of who I thought the person, what was going on in the scene, and it was right. It was exactly what I thought. Spoke about Doctor Strange. To speak about America Chavez, the young lady in this movie. Obviously, she has the ability to traverse through the multiverse using powers to open portals. The story goes in the comics that she had lost their parents. Parents are two females. They lost them. I think they went a little bit away from that story in it, but she lost them within the multiverse, and she believes it was her fault. And there's demons chasing her through the different multiverses, and she ends up on planet Earth. She was great. She was great, and I feel like the dynamic between her and Doctor Strange was really good. I really enjoyed her in this movie. Like, there were parts sometimes where, no, before watching the trailer, you think, oh my god, she's going to take away from Strange in this movie. But she really doesn't. She actually adds something. Like, if she was missing, I would have noticed. She was fun. She had some, like, funny lines in the movies, what weren't, like, didn't feel like they were thrown in there, which I liked. And the movie made you care about her by the time we got to the end of the movie. And I think that's down to her relationship between her and Doctor Strange. And then obviously, let's talk Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. My favourite part of the movie was just her, in general. Like, it doesn't matter what scenes. There was great scenes in the movie, there were great fights. Obviously, there's other characters like Wong, that I thought he was great as well. But she was my favourite. It's the best Scarlet Witch we've seen so far. She's the acting's great, she's emotional, she's menacing. She delivers on a different level. A lot of people I've seen think that it felt like it was her movie, but I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so in this. I feel like she added to it in a strong way. Sometimes the villains do take the spotlight in a certain way. Thanos did in Infinity Wars, and it's called Avengers Infinity War, so there's nothing wrong with that for me. She was great. It left me wanting more of her, and I feel like the scale for other movies, because we never got a Scarlet Witch movie. I don't know. We had WandaVision, so we kind of got more of it. I think that might be the way, though. I think with what's going on currently with the Disney Plus world and different sagas and stuff like that, I feel like watching those programs get you emotionally invested in the characters. So when you see them in the movie, bear in mind Wanda was in movies before WandaVision, and then she had WandaVision where we got episodes week after week invested, and now she's been put back into this movie. That there's not another character right now that you can care as much as for, other than like Spider-Man. Because everyone forgets Doctor Strange came out ages ago now, and this is the only other movie we've had him, and I mean the only other Doctor Strange movie, and the only other movie we saw him in was Infinity War Endgame and then Spider-Man. I think that's correct. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. She's dope. She's dope, man. Anything else I'm missing from this movie? Because obviously you're going to go guys see yourself, and then we probably can do some spoiler talk. I'm trying to build a channel, so when I get more subscribers over here, we'll definitely do more spoiler talks. But it's not much fun doing it without other people interacting. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. Negatives of the movie, there wasn't any really. I feel like fans want fanfare in these movies, which is fine. And this kind of movie, going in with certain expectations, you will be let down a little bit if your expectations are too high on certain things, i.e. the cameos and the multiverse travel as well. I wanted to, the different universes we did go to, I wanted to discover them a little bit more, wanted to know a little bit more about them. I feel like we just had like a rush of going through, probably went through like 3 universes to be honest. And the cameos didn't bother me as much. It didn't really bother me as much. And I'm almost sure that if there's 40 minutes taken out, that there should be some more cameos in there. But what the cameos do, they can set up stuff in the future for different Marvel movies. And if I'm going by the comics, then I'm guessing that Secret Wars might be the multiverse action everyone wanted in this movie. I do have one gripe. It's not with the movie in particular, it's with the trailers for the movie. Now, anyone knows that when I done the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer reaction on my other channel, I've moved all the reactions over here now, but when I did that reaction, I've done one, and then I know other reactors, and shout out to them, they all react to the TV spots and all these different things. I kind of don't want that. I kind of have the official trailer, or if there's like trailer 1, trailer 2, and then once I do that, I don't watch them again. I don't even pay attention. And just from the thumbnails of all the trailers, they gave too much away in the trailer. I believe yeah. I feel like they gave too much away. Usually, they feed you stuff in the trailer, and then when you get in your movie, you're like, oh, didn't really discover that much from the trailer. But this one I felt like I did, just because of the movie it was, and I don't really like it. And obviously you just don't have to watch the trailers, but their marketing is so full-fledged that you end up finding stuff out anyway, and you can dodge it all you like. I mean, I saw videos for the post-credit scene before I even had seen the movies. I didn't watch the video, I saw the thumbnail of it, and I'm like, I know people want to get their views, how people make their money and stuff, but have a bit of grace, you know what I mean? You could literally have a thumbnail with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness post-credit scenes and then not put anything else on it, because sometimes they try to trick you into these videos, but that's my gripe with that. And apart from that, it was a fun time. I watched it twice now. I watched it one in the cinemas and one on something I shouldn't be watching on It's Life. And I paid my money the first time. I enjoyed it. I'm going to watch it again. I'm on big TV when it's, you know, good in full effect. I would have liked to watch it in 4DX, to be honest, so might do that just before he leaves the cinema, because no one will be in there then. But it was fun. Probably missed some stuff out. Yeah, nothing else disappointing for me. Mordo was disappointing for me, because it just felt like it didn't need to be in there. And in terms of multiverse stuff, without giving anything too much away, they're kind of, because they tried to link up all the different programs, Loki and all these things, I feel like if you remove Loki from not the program Loki, but if you didn't connect them to this at all, it wouldn't make a difference, because I don't think they've figured out the rules of the multiverse themselves. And I'm not joking. I do believe that of course, the directors do directors' job as storytellers, but I think a lot of the directors' storytellers only realise stuff when they watch fans talk about it, and I think they're not thinking it. If I was them, I'd hire some of these YouTube guys, man. You know what I mean? Some people dedicate their life to finding out different things, and if you watch Easter egg videos and stuff like that, a lot of people will be saying stuff which sounds like a reach, and it is a reach, because I know for a fact that the directors haven't thought about it, but they're probably thinking, why didn't we think about that? So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. It's been long enough, but it's been fun. I've been your boy Good Savage. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Definitely go and watch it. Come back. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a strong 7. 7.5. I'm going to give it a strong 7.5. It's hard to rate him sometimes without putting him against other Marvel movies. So I'm just going to rate it on its own. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Maybe an 8. Maybe an 8. But I'll let you know again. Peace.